Hello, this is Alexander Green, Chief Investment Strategist with the Oxford Club. And today I want to talk about two things. One, some of the biggest problems in the world, and two, some of the incredible opportunities that those problems create for investors. We get 24/7 coverage of all these problems in the national media and in social media and everywhere else. But I wanted to point out today that problems are inevitable. They always exist, and they always will exist. Problems create opportunities for companies that can solve them, even terrible problems. Like, for instance, 2 years ago, we were struggling with the worst pandemic in 100 years. And there were companies like Moderna and Pfizer and BioNTech that came along and created life-saving vaccines. And that was a perfect example of companies making hundreds of millions and even billions of dollars by solving a problem. Cancer is one of the greatest scourges in modern society, but companies like Merck, with its drug Keytruda, is providing a solution. Cybersecurity is a big problem, but cybersecurity is a huge industry. And so I want you to think in terms of looking for solutions. Investments often involve finding great solutions to terrible problems. And probably the worst problem facing the modern world today is, of course, Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And it might be hard to think that there's anything an investor could do about this, but Putin has made another mistake, and that is he cut off oil and gas to Europe. And if there's anything you don't want to do as an energy supplier, is to make yourself an unreliable supplier. And this has got Europeans worried, it's got them frightened, but it's also got them angry, not least of all at themselves for relying on a corrupt autocrat like Vladimir Putin for their needed energy supplies. But just as these other problems like COVID and cancer and cybersecurity had huge and lucrative solutions to them, there is a company that's supremely positioned to take advantage of the huge shortfall in gas that Europe now faces with winter approaching and beyond that, because, as I mentioned, Europe is not going to go back to relying on Russia for their gas supplies anymore. It doesn't matter how the situation in Ukraine resolves itself eventually. So this is a tremendous money-making opportunity, and one that has legs, not just for this quarter or this year, but for many quarters and years beyond. And I recently sat down with an interviewer to talk about this situation and the huge solution. And I want to encourage you at the end of this video to click on the link and hear more about how you can capitalize on what is probably the worst geopolitical event taking place in the world right now, the Russian invasion of Ukraine and Putin's decision to cut off oil and gas supplies to Europe. Well, that's it for today. This is Alexander Green. Thanks again for watching.